republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of members.
Trustee Champlain.
Here.
Trustee Southwick.
Here.
Trustee Amy Garrett is absent tonight. Trustee Martin is excused. Mayor Moore.
Here. Just say Amy had called and she's excused also. Okay, we'll have to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I make a motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Now have presentation of petitions, communications, and notices and general question period for members of the community. Just a reminder to everyone that this isn't a public forum. It's if you have something to say to the board, this is your time to say it. But it isn't a discussion or anything that we just want. We'll listen to whatever you have to say to bring it to us.
Actually, I own the flood zone, and you sent me a letter, so I was just coming to check and see what's happening. Response to that letter that you sent me, and I also went around and got some signatures of other neighbors around that don't have any complaints about the lake.
Okay, well, just is that what you wanted to say? Okay, just to answer you briefly, the reason that we did send that letter was because we did have some complaints from several residents in the area, and it was just to alert you to the fact that there were concerns with some of the residents and to ask you to try and address them.
Yep.
And I think you have done that.
I've been doing it. I mean,
Yep.
like I said, I'm empowering people, and doing what I can do.
And we appreciate that.
Right.
That's our only goal is that everybody gets along
Yep,
happily
I
ever
do.
after. So,
So I don't know if there's anything you want me to leave, or...
yeah, you can leave that with us. Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be fine.
Okay.
And
good.
appreciate you coming.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any
Thank
other
you.
public comment? Mike Teacher is not here today, so there's not a report from him. Mayor's report. Larry Friends has resigned from the Public Works Department. And we are continuing our contract talks with the Teamsters. That's all I have for my report. Trustees, Kim?
I don't really have a report this evening. The only thing I wanted to know of the superintendent was if the insurance services office paperwork the fire department had left, had that been taken care of?
Not until we get our telemetry fixed at the tank. But I've been in contact with the fire chief.
That's, I asked to follow up.
Okay, thanks, Kim. Steve?
No, I don't have a report this month.
Well,
I don't know if you want to go over the...
Well, just one thing I guess I wanted to bring up with the shared services. It looks like our grant was turned down. They have suggested that we reapply, so we will probably be pursuing that course of action. We had dealt with this contingency, and we still will be able to continue with looking at our upgrades for the wastewater treatment plant and the water plant on our own. It's disappointing, but maybe we'll get in on the next round. Okay, clerk treasurer report.
Everybody has been copied with the revenue and expense report for July. Is there any questions?
Just one, Juanita. It looks like we're running just a little bit behind on the water and sewer. We'll probably have a better handle on that when we send out our next billing.
Well, Price Chopper hasn't had full billing yet. And I think part of it on the sewer end is the income from Wyatt and Shacey. It's part of that income.
Okay, they haven't been billed yet, or is that it?
one over there.
Well, it's just something we'll keep an eye on for the future. Okay, we have 3 purchase requisitions we need to deal with. One is a flow jet pump polymer pump for $210 plus $10.50 freight. 2 cases of rubber gloves at $165, and 3 drainage grates at $240. We entertain a motion to pay these purchase requisitions.
Make that motion.
Give a second.
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, trustee Champlain,
Aye.
trustee Southwood,
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. At this time, entertain a motion to pay the warrant.
We have one to add to the warrant. It's for Donna for her insurance buyout for the quarter in the amount of $600, which is to come out of AF&G.
Okay, everybody, motion. Okay, we entertain a motion to accept that.
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussion. I had one, when I was looking at the materials for the street paving. How does that work? Do we bill them after we buy these things, like the crushed stone and the matting and all that? Like, we purchase it and then...
We purchase it and then we submit it into the state and they reimburse it.
Okay, so we'll see some of that back.
We'll see all of it back. Anything that's been used on Spruce Street.
All right, trustee Trombley? Trustee Southwood?
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. Okay, now I have the report of the superintendent.
The GSA meter will be installed next week, finally. The steering box is broken away from the frame on the van, which makes our van unusable. It's been a little over a month since it was last repaired with the front springs. And now it's sitting out back, parts. The paving will be done the week of September 5th on Spruce Street. And also the town is planning on replace a water line in Perry's Mills District. This is a good time to work a shared services project with the town. We have the people that know how to do it and they have the equipment. We can work together to accomplish this. It'll take place sometime in September. The crew is adapting our old ditching bucket for the New Holland. There's no guarantee it's going to work, but they're trying. There was correspondence from Emergency Services in regards to the NIMS training, or National Incident Management System. I'm waiting my certificate from FEMA, so I don't have to attend the classes. We're looking at a backhoe replacement. You were all copied with the information I received from Nortrax, but there was no way to actually test the machine and compare it against others. I recommend that we draw up a set of specs, and we're probably end up having to go out to bid for it because there's not too many suppliers in this area that can supply service and machinery. I think I covered everything that needed to be covered.
Are there any questions for the superintendent? If not, thank you, Woody. And correspondence?
There's correspondence from Diane Winters regarding the elementary school and the village needs, along with grant information. Correspondence from Tom Venn regarding Spruce Street paving and dead tree at 31 Church Street. Letter to the flood zone regarding residents' complaints. Letter to Tom Venn regarding the email of July 21st, 2006 relative to the gas pipeline service. Correspondence from James Guyon, Clinton County Real Property Office regarding senior citizens exemption of property taxes. Correspondence from the flood zone regarding residents' concerns about the bar. Correspondence from DOT regarding the CHIPS fund. Correspondence to Steve Marshall NYSDOH regarding the village's interest in seeking funds for water system improvements. Correspondence from Perma regarding the 2005 workers' compensation audit. Correspondence from Neil and Beth Walker regarding the ditch on Oak Street. Correspondence to Ed Bodine, New York State EFC regarding the village's interest in seeking funds for wastewater treatment facilities improvements. Letter to Senator Betty Little relative to the FSMI grant for water improvements. Correspondence from Mike Rart regarding culvert drainage problem at his residence at 652 Prospect Street. Letter to Steve Marshall at New York State Department of Health requesting removal of projects on the intended use plan drinking water state revolving fund.
Thank you, Juanita. Are there any questions about any of that correspondence?
You had a chance to come up with a quote yet, Woody, for that culvert work on Oak Street?
Yes, it's been sent.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
We had our old business, I guess we addressed the PSA meters, the manhole, Time Warner cable franchise is still pending. Under new business, we have bids for the copier. We have one bid from Lake Champlain Appaloosa Club for $110, and a bid from Maryland Daily at $124.40. We entertain a motion to accept the high bid.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The 1993 International Dump Truck, we have a bid from Burnell and Sons Incorporated for $4,500, and we have a bid from Eni Calvitis at $29.50. We entertain a motion to accept the higher bid.
Second.
Any discussion? Trustee Trombley,
Aye.
Trustee Southwood,
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. Ayes have it. We also need to change our October and November board meeting dates. I had a suggestion of moving the October date to the 16th and the November date to the 6th. To move the November date back would put us into Thanksgiving week, and I guess to space it out, we'd move October to the 16th. We entertain a motion to change those meeting dates.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. I said aye too. It's good.
You need to.
We had planned on having a public hearing date on possible use of the elementary school, but due to the fact that there's now a group out there looking at the possibility of reopening that as one of the options that the school district would have, I think we should probably table this. Entertain a motion to table this at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We also have under new business to send Juanita Munoz to the Advanced Accounting School. Who's that put on by? NICOM. This fall. Just would entertain a motion to pay expenses for the Advanced Accounting School.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Where are we coming up with that as far as the budget goes? Did we budget that?
We did budget it at the end of, with favor the information.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Now we can proceed to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. I also have a request in to send Woody Kissel to NICOM Superintendent School. When is that one?
It's in Syracuse, 23rd to 26th of October.
Okay, entertain a motion to send Woody to that. So moved. Have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Not all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Oh, yeah, one other thing, we did have a question about the dates when an employee is eligible for vacation. We consulted NICOM on this. I think everyone was copied on this. It appears like, in the absence of any language to the contrary, that we should go by the date that they started work, and not the date they were, became permanent. Also, been a little bit of a source of confusion, but I rechecked the wording on that. It's not worded very well, what we have in our personnel policy. It's one of those things. So I think we should make a motion to clear this up and have vacation accrue from the hire date. So, a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
What did you say?
Okay, to make the hire date the vacation date. That policy.
And you're making a motion to amend the policy or
Right.
change it? Okay.
Right. Because it wasn't very clear,
Right.
as we found out. Okay, is there any further discussion? Now, proceed to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Yeah, the ayes have it. Sorry about that. Could've made that last meetings.
Through. Through.
Okay, so, we need to pursue that course of action of getting the angle moved instead of the,
That'd be the most prudent thing to do at this point.
does everybody know what we're talking about there?
Well, the one we have doesn't work. That's all I know.
And we know what angle boom will work, right?
We do?
Yeah, that's basically what we use.
Okay.
Well, it'll work as good as an angle boom will work. Well, no, we should have, I guess we should have a motion to discuss this too much. Is there a motion to,
Is that your quote from William H. Clark?
Yeah,
Yes.
I should read that. Here it is. To trade in the pickup sweeper that we presently have for an angle sweeper, it would be a $900 restocking fee and a $700 free charge that will be added to the cost of the angle boom. Where is this place? Rensselaer? Wouldn't it be cheaper to just drive it down there?
Find out if they're shipping it there or back to Ontario.
I had a conversation this evening. They have a shipment going to Saranac Lake. The freight on the incoming angle boom would be $200 if we can hook it up, get it on their order that's going to Saranac Lake.
It still doesn't, the $700 is still in effect though.
The $700 is still in effect for the other.
The restocking fee?
The
Restocking fee
and
and
the
the
shipping.
incoming shipping fee.
Shipping to get it back there.
We can
Well,
bring it,
this is to Rensselaer, New York, right? It's down in Albany.
we can bring it, we can deliver that down there ourselves.
I
But we have to
would
pay the-
think we could do it cheaper than $700.
But there was a $700 incoming freight fee that came out of Canada with customs.
On the other one,
We never paid that.
We haven't paid it
the
yet.
bill has not been due. Yeah. $5,200 was brought over encumbered from last year's budget. That was supposed to cover the purchase.
Which one are you recommending? 60 inch or the 72 inch?
We currently have a 60 inch.
Was there an advantage to having 72 inch? I guess it's Steve's question. Because the difference in price is about $300.
Any comments?
We're not gonna use that to go across the bridge anyway, right?
No, it's all for street sweeping. It's all street sweeping.
There's no place where it would be an issue if it was larger rather
No.
than small. The only other question I have is why can't we bring the other one to Saranac Lake when we go pick up the new one? Isn't that guy making a return trip to Rensselaer?
No, it's coming out of,
Also, this is the freight company that's hauling it there.
correct. That's the way it was explained to me tonight around 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Do we have a motion on this on the floor?
No,
No, you probably should make a motion for discuss it.
Make a motion that we purchase the 72 by 32 inch power angle sweeper.
For a second.
Second.
Okay, get back into this. Okay, so this, the restock and the freight is what adds the 1,600 onto this.
actually, we
Yeah.
200 on top of that. When he says-
No,
That's the way
they're saying the
money
total
I take it
pricing, including restocking and freight charges, is $8,037. Wow.
You worked on this restocking stuff, right? What do you mean? List them a little bit.
Actually, I spoke to him a little bit, but it was trustee Garrett
Okay.
that tightened the noose.
Because in some cases, you can work with a vendor who wants to continue to have us as a future purchaser, knowing that we made a mistake and we might be able to.
I've called Swanton, South Burlington, and Burlington to see if we could just sell that sweeper out there.
Right.
Had no response yet.
I think it would be a worthwhile, like I'm saying, call Mr. Ball and say, is there any way that you can work with us a little bit on this restocking charge? We understand we owe you for the freight on the original one, but is there any way you can help us with maybe making it 10% instead of 20% on the restocking charge?
Do you want to add that to your motion, Steve?
Yes.
That you will try to pursue reducing that restocking charge. Now, do we need to get bids on this? Do we have to have three?
We're under
bids?
$10,000.
Is that the correct one? We need to get bids on this, or is this?
Over 10,000.
Okay. Very good. Are there any further questions, discussion? We'll proceed to vote. Could you read that motion back to us, Thomas, or exactly what?
I have a motion to purchase a 72 by 32 inch angle sweeper with a 10% reduction in the restocking charge.
An attempt to get 10% reduction.
Is that how you want to word it, attempt to?
Steve, just read the motion. And you probably should excuse me, make mention of the dollar amount, which is $8,037.12.
8,037.
And we'll try to get them about something up. Either one of these. Could you read that back to us, Donna, so we don't
Yep.
get that correct?
Discussion to purchase 72-inch by 32-inch angle sweeper with an attempt to reduce the restocking fee by 10%, at a price of $8,037.12. You wanna mention the code?
The only thing is that if
That
they agree
is the
that.
price, yeah, that is the price, 8,000 that they're quoting us.
That's right, but, okay, so it would be
Yeah.
10%.
We're trying to get, 10%
So
off.
it'll be less.
Restocking.
Okay.
$450
less
less
than
than
that.
that.
I don't have a calculator, but whatever that comes up to.
Okay. Trustee Trombley, trustee Southwood,
Aye.
Mayor Moore, aye. Ayes have it. I believe that's all the business that we had.
I have one question, sorry. On correspondence number, no, not correspondence, but the discussion about the personnel policy, there are 2 employees of that, or have you discussed that, or is that for later, with that would affect?
Well, I think we are clearing it up, period. That's how it would have to be, because we don't have any language saying the exact date that people start to accrue vacation. It's not in our personnel policy. In the absence of that, and we would have to assume that the hire date is the date the person started.
Okay, and so the,
Whoever it affects, it would affect.
okay.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, as a result of that policy change.
We're just trying to clear that up because it's something that apparently hasn't been clear for a while. I guess we don't hire a lot of people, so it hasn't come up a lot.
Right.
It was addressed. At this time, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
This is a record
Meeting
breaking.
is adjourned.
Breaking chance. Well, I wish I had somebody going to all.